Hey guys, welcome back to another Cultured Boys discussion. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan. And today we're talking about an anime Nathan watched, I don't know, quite recently, and I jumped on the bandwagon quite recently as well. He's watched before me, but there's 2 seasons of it. It's Apothecary Diaries. Yay! Yes. So, a bit of backstory here. I've had like multiple people recommend this to me, Nathan being one of them.
Yes.
And I didn't really have any thoughts or impressions about this. Like when it's been like we had it season 1 and when season 2 started or whatever. But like I was just like, oh okay, people like this anime, but I don't know if it's my kind of thing. I'll just leave it. And then you were like, oh, it's really good. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll get round to it then. And then yeah, here we are, making a whole episode about it.
Glad we are. I'm glad we are. It's a good series.
Yes. Just ahead of time, we will be talking about seasons 1 and 2 in this. So
Yes.
this episode will contain spoilers for the latest season.
Yep.
No manga spoilers though, for those who read the manga. Or is it a novel or is it a?
It's a light novel.
It's a light novel.
Well, it
so
says
those
novel.
who read the
When you look at the
Yeah.
wikis, it's like novel series, and then it's like light novel, and then manga, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
surely novel and light novel is the same thing, yes?
Yeah, it's gotta be, right? It's like here's the novel, and here's a condensed down version of it, aren't there?
Well, that's what I was like. I suppose.
It's gotta be the same thing, yeah, 100%.
I feel like it's got to be the same thing.
Yeah, but I guess before we get any further into this, Nathan, you want to give a rundown of what Apothecary Diaries actually is?
Yes. So, Apothecary Diaries, created by Natsu Hyuga. And yes, Naruto fans, I too also double take because I was like, Hyuga? Oh my god.
Or fairy tale fans. Natsu.
Fanfics. Novel was published by Setsuka ni Naro, October 27th, 2011 to present, animated by Toho Animation Studios and OLM, aired October 22nd, 2023 to July 4th, 2025, 48 episodes as of recording. Mao Mao lived a peaceful life with her apothecary father until one day she sold as a lowly servant to the emperor's palace. Thank you, Crunchyroll.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, and also tells you absolutely nothing, which is good.
Yeah. So just a bit expanding a little bit on the backstory I gave about Apothecary Diaries. Like funny enough, like I downloaded an episode to watch on the plane back from a trip to Nashville. So that was like about just over a month ago, really. And I was like, oh, I'll just download some stuff. Like, I just need to watch something in case I need it. I slept for that whole flight, but I was like, towards the last hour or so, I was like, oh, I'll just watch something I downloaded quick, just like something 30 minutes. And so I watched the first episode of Apothecary Diaries, and I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And then from there on, I slowly got like into it, watching the seasons bit by bit. Started off on Netflix, obviously, because that's where I had to download episodes from. And then obviously they only have season 1 on there, so I moved over to Crunchyroll. But obviously, because it finished on July 4th, and I finished the series like about a week ago. So so all the dub is out for it. So I've watched all of it in dub, basically.
Okay. Interesting. I've watched all of it in sub, and I've watched a tiny bit of season 1 in dub, but I prefer the sub personally.
Okay, yeah. Any particular reason? How did you get into Apothecary Diaries?
Much like yourself, it was just I was like talking about anime with some friends, and it just kept coming up. And not in the kind of like in passing, like, oh yeah, if you heard of this series, yeah, it's pretty good. It was like almost like a domino effect kind of thing, like one person said it, And then after one person told me about it, like, it seemed like the floodgates opened and everybody was talking about it, and everyone's like, "Yo, have you seen this Apothecary Diaries? It's really good. You should watch it." So I was like, "Alright, go on
Mhm.
in. Whatever this thing is." Like, I much like yourself, I watched an episode not really expecting much, because like, from the
Mhm.
even from that description, when you don't know, you're like, "Okay, whatever." And then, like,
Yeah,
you look
yeah.
at the cover art and you're like, "Okay, sure, it
Mhm.
doesn't look like anything that super
Yeah.
interesting." And then, stuff kicks off and you're like, "Okay, I can get down with this. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's
solid."
typically it's funny that you said about, like, the description and the cover art of the series because, like, typically, like, this is something that neither of us would usually watch in terms of,
No,
like, it's a
not at all.
drama kind of thing, like a period drama, like so it
Mm,
falls into that niche of, like, things that, like, neither of us usually go for typically for a series. Like, if you've heard the podcast before, you know that Nathan's very much into his battle stuff. I'm very much
yeah.
into comedy slice of life bits. But what this ends up being is like this tale of like set. I don't know what era this is or like what year this would have been set in.
No
But
idea.
obviously
But it's like
it's like it is
fictitious
historical though.
ancient China.
Yeah, exactly. So not really something that jump out to me, and like some with the title of like Apothecary Diaries, it's something like I was just like, I don't know. I'm not really into the whole like the doctor thing.
Mm,
There's a lot of these series and she's like, oh, like I'm a doctor and I do this, or it's like, oh, like come to this like granted they're all like I don't know, maybe they're comedy doctor shows
yeah.
or it's like these other kind of things, but or anything that's kind of like magical, that's that kind
Yeah,
of thing,
yeah, yeah.
like, I
Oh,
think I
like a
tried
I
what
mean,
was it,
like a
like, the a
healer.
yeah, oh, like a ancient is it Ancient Magus Bride, I think it's called, like, some people really got into that, and I think I
Yeah, I think
tried to
I
get into
mm,
it, and it just
I
wasn't
haven't
my
I
kind of thing,
didn't.
and if anything, I thought it was quite a similar concept, which is why it didn't necessarily jump out to me, and I thought, "Oh, if it's the same thing."
See,
Like,
I
ancient kind of, like yeah,
I thought it
like, it
was
just
gonna
weren't it.
be like especially because at the start of the first episode, they're in the
Mhm.
pleasure district, and she's at a
Yes.
brothel, and I was like, "Oh god, is this what it is? She's gonna be
Yeah.
like a doctor in the and this is just gonna be overly fan servicey." I was like, "Ah,
Yeah.
why is everyone recommending me this?" But like, that is so far from what it is, and it's only like the most minor part of it all. Like, it's like such a tiny detail of like Mau Mau's story, luckily as well. Although
Yeah.
I will say the the brothel and the like courtesan stuff, they play off. They actually is pretty well done. It's actually really not that like
I think the
egregious.
thing is what the reason why I don't mind the courtesan stuff and the brothel is because it feeds into the story naturally. It doesn't feel
Mm,
like it's like, oh, said like all this like kind of like overly fan servicey.
mm,
It's fan servicey because it adds to the story. It's a brothel, it's a courtesan thing. They're gonna have to be
yeah,
like that. That's how it runs. And it's like you said, it's not something that's overly in your face at all. It fits in the story where it needs to, and it's done like quite like smoothly, if you will. Like it actually works in story. Um and like as well, like it feeds into like Mal Mal's story as well. Like
mm,
all of that all it goes in well, especially with like her lineage, like her mum
yeah.
and dad and
Her
stuff like that. Like
history,
that whole
like
story. Yeah.
it's not. Oh my days. I think that's the best thing about this series is it
Mhm.
doesn't present you with that much information. So you kind of
Mhm.
just have to go in expecting almost nothing from it.
Yeah.
And then it gives you so much. Like there's so many like unexpected things, twists and turns.
Mhm.
It's like there's actually good like plots going
Mm.
on, you know?
And the story as it goes on as well, like, considering where we ended in season 1, for example,
Yeah.
like, by the end of season 2, it's at a completely different point.
Right. And
It's
yet
like that
the
yeah,
threads were still in season 1 for what happens in season
yeah,
2. You just don't realize how important they are until season 2.
absolutely. It's great, honestly. Like what starts off as what feels like a quite a little small humble series about this
Mm.
girl who is just obsessed with being an apothecary and like all these different these
Yeah.
different poisons and stuff. Just suddenly grows into like something you would never conceive like how it happens
Mm.
in the end as a reader. You're like, whoa, wait, I did not see it going like
Yeah.
this. um like basically a full out war, and you're like, wow, that's like that's insane. Um, and it's it's one of those ones where like it kind of just keeps you watching. Like by the time I finished season one, I was like, maybe I'll have a little break between season one and two, and then I'll see how I
Mhm.
feel. I think I ended up watching one episode of season two, and then I think I took like maybe a week off between it or something like that. And then funny enough, like I had a free, like pretty much a free weekend last weekend
Yeah.
before I had to travel down to London. And on the Sunday night, no, on the Saturday night, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna just watch. Like, I'm just gonna watch Apothecary Diaries, see how far I get,
Mm.
and I'll be. And I watched the whole of season two in a day, and
It's
then
'cause it's good. It's really
and
good.
what ended up happening is that like I was watching it and I was like, you know what? I got to like 4 o'clock. I need to get snacks. When to get snacks? And then like just like I kept on going till 4 a.m. I had to drive to London like quite early the next day. And I was like, I think I woke up at 8 and I was like, I can't do this right now. I'm pushing this, I'm pushing the drive back a little bit. I need to give myself some more time because I was just obsessed with watching it. I think it got to like 2 a.m. and I was like, I've got 3 episodes left or something. I need to just like keep pushing through. I need to keep pushing through.
I kept telling Pepe, season 1 is
Mhm.
really good, but season 2 is like a notch above. Like it's so good. I just kept telling him like, bro, it's stick like because it's like we would have minor conversations about this, like, oh, how far you got, like how you enjoying it, and you're like, yeah, it's good, in typical fashion between me and Pepe, not letting on too much. So it's kind
Yeah,
of hard
yeah.
to read sometimes if we're like hyped about a
Yeah.
thing.
I think the furthest it'd go is that I'll tell
Well,
you.
yeah, you'd be like, "Yeah, it's pretty good, like, I'm enjoying it." I'm like, "Cool, cool,"
Mm,
but, like, I kept feeling like I had to be like, "No, seriously, bro, but, like, stick with
yeah,
it because it's
I'd
gonna get
I'd
really
have to
good."
tell you where I was. I think at that point, like I think when the last time we talked about it,
You hadn't even finished season 1 yet last time we
no,
talked
it
about it.
wasn't. At that point, it was just revealed that what's his face? I think he was Mau Mau's dad. I can't
Oh,
remember what
Lakan.
his name is. Lakan. That's it. Yeah, yeah. So, and then obviously you've always know that like Lakan at that point when I was watching it, you know that Lakan's kind of like he's there's something off about him,
Mm,
and then it's portrayed that way, and then but obviously you don't know the full story of like him and
yeah.
Mama's mum, the courtesan, and like you're just getting these bad vibes off him. Like everyone dislikes him, no one like cares for him or whatever. And then at the end of season one, you kind of like you get the full story of like what Lakan, like Lakan's like life basically, and
Mm.
it turns into this kind of like bittersweet backstory, and you're like, oh, okay, damn, that's like,
It does turn into a bittersweet, but, he's still written in a way that he's very bullish and still unlikable, though.
yes, I think it is. Yeah, there's something like at the end of it, and like even though like it has quite a sweet
Mm,
ending between them because obviously like he like because he has to go to the brothel and be like, yeah, okay, choose a
yeah,
courtesan, like marry it and stuff like that, and like he's just like, oh, okay, I guess I better choose I
maybe.
can't remember her name either. May May, yeah. So yeah, you have to forgive me here as well because I've watched it in all a short amount and there's so many names. Nathan's gonna have to remind me of a few of these names. 'Cause I remember the whole story, but there's certain people
I
which I'm
will
like,
say
wait,
these are
what's this
these are
character's name?
actually off the top of my head right now because I was also
Yeah.
last night I started rewatching it again
Yeah.
from
Oh yeah.
season 1, so, like, I literally I'm on, like, episode 16 of season 1, so I've almost finished
Yeah.
season 1 already. Um,
Okay,
so
yeah.
a lot of those names right now are, like, just fresh because
Yeah.
that's, like, the
But
last thing I watched.
Yeah, it's good. He's here. He's here to like fill in the gaps for me, which is brilliant. Um, no, like yeah, he's like, oh, I guess I'll choose May May because she's the only one here that I like
Yeah.
really talk to or whatever. And then he finds out that the courtesan who he was spending so much time with is actually still there, and he's like, what? That's where he like pushes through, and then you get this like kind of this reunion between those
Mm.
two characters, which is yeah, just like again like it's kind of a sweet ending, but then you're like, wait, am I still like, am I supposed to like him still? Like, I can't. Am I supposed to dislike this guy? It's like
I
feels like yeah,
it's a tough one, isn't it? But, like, even in season 2, he does things that are funny, and I'm like, I kinda like him now, but then you also don't really see that much of him in season 2. Not
yeah.
as much
No,
as you did in
season two
season
he
1.
becomes a lot more comical in
Oh,
season
yeah,
two.
he's see, that's a weird thing, though, is that he's, like, went from sort of, I know sort of that I have, like, another kid out there somewhere,
Mm,
to, "Okay, she's here," to,
mhm.
"Mau Mau, daddy's coming! Papa
Yeah,
will save you!" And
yeah.
it's just like, "Bro, what?" Where
When did this relationship change like this? Like this is
innit?
like a
Do you know what I
nuts
mean?
kind of yeah.
Well, the funniest thing is, he turns out like that, but Mau Mau's still like, "Yeah, I only have my
Yeah.
adopted dad. I don't have any other
Yeah,
parents. I don't have
yeah.
actual parents. I
Yeah.
don't acknowledge them."
Oh.
Although
It's great.
Lakan in that meeting with the with the other councilman, when they're like having the meeting with Jinchi, and then he just
Mhm.
goes on about his fucking Go match, and he's like, "Yeah, oh my wife, she's so smart, she beat me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at the moves, you see the results." And it's like, "Oh, I have to leave," and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get a book bound and sent to you. It's
Yeah,
cool."
yeah. It's just like he goes from this, this guy who's just like in season one, he's so like you said, bullish and like he just get off these
In
evil
it,
vibes of him. Now he's like now he's just like this love struck guy who's like, look at these go matches, they're amazing. Bow bow. And it's
my
like,
wife is
wait,
so smart. My
what?
daughter, I've saved my daughter.
It's like it's insane. But yeah, there's all that. And then you also got like in season two, there's like Lakan's adoptive son as well, who
Oh,
is like
Lahan, yeah,
just gives us yeah, and then what's his name? Sorry,
Lahan,
Lahat,
Lakan,
of course,
and Lahan.
Lahan, Lahat, yeah, Lahat. But yeah, it's it's him as well, who's like basically like a junior Lakan, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's his adopted son, and it just gives off the almost the exact same vibes as Lakan, except that he's like just crazy on strategy or something like that. Like he's just obsessed with it or something
Well,
like that.
like, luckily, they do they do make him out to be a little more sensible though,
Yeah, yeah.
because like he immediately like when he's like, "We need to investigate this. We can take
hmm
that on." Does like the anime like
hmm
glasses shine, and then it's like,
Yeah,
"But what do you want in return?" Um, actually, my dad broke a gate, so if you could give us a discount on the gate,
yeah.
like he goes all timid and shit, and you're like, hang on a second,
Yeah.
what was that before then?
Yeah.
What was all that about?
It's nuts. Um, I feel like we should talk a little bit about Jinshi as well. Obviously, one
Yes.
one of the main protagonists in the
How
series.
how how like crazy spoiler we want to go with this? Do we just want to start it just straight in like dropping bombs or like
I think we're giving the spoiler warning of it, so I think we go like straight into
okay?
the main.
So Mr. Moon Prince,
Yes.
Emperor's little brother,
Yeah, yeah. The eunuch that's kind of not a eunuch.
yes, man with the crazy frog.
um, yeah, the freaking the frog stuff was like I tell you what, the frog stuff threw me so off guard, right? Because this is where I come back from my snack run. And I'm like kind of like I'm paying attention, but I'm also kind of like I'm looking at my phone a little bit and I'm like eating
Mm,
some snacks. And I look up, and this is where they've fallen into like they're trying to get out of that hole kind
yep,
of thing or whatever it was that the and Bao Bao falls on top of him, and she has her hand in the
yep.
place. And it's like, oh, there's this frog, and then I just like looked up at that moment. I was like, wait, what's this? And I was like, I feel like I had to like rewind because I feel like at that point I wasn't paying full attention. I was like, I need to look at how did this
Yep,
situation happen again?
yep.
Like there's that bit, and like you're just seeing like Jinshi just slowly, like in season 2 anyway, Jinshi and Bao Bao's relationship just like getting a little bit progressive, and Bao Bao knows pretty
Yep.
much the full, almost a full story at this point, right?
She
Like,
she's inferred a lot. She is trying her
yeah,
best not to hear anything because she's just Malma's whole character is like, I want to lay low, I want people to
yeah,
ignore me, and I don't want to get involved. But she always gets involved because main character.
yes,
And
yes,
and by season two, Jinshi's like, right, shit is kicking off, and things are pushing me towards the
hmm,
inevitable future that I've been trying to put off for as long as possible. But he's like, okay, well, if that's happening, this is the girl that I like.
hmm,
This is the girl I want.
hmm, yeah,
But it's funny because season two is constantly him trying to be like, look, I need to tell you something really important. And it's super important, but somehow Mau Mau always doesn't hear and is still trying
hmm,
to be in denial, but also trying to figure it out. And you're like, Mau Mau, you're so smart all the time. And right now you're being
yeah.
so dumb. It's
Yeah.
really painful.
It's it's kinda like it gives off the, like, kind of rom-com
Mm,
element aspects of it, where it's kind of like, "Hey, I need to tell you something. Oh, I could finally tell her the news," and then, like, it's just like, something stupid happens, then it's like, "Oh, end of the story of the week, you didn't get to tell her how he feels." And then but it kind of but it gives it more of like a
yeah, I mean, the stupid one was like when he gave her the balls like gallstones or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it began with a B or something like that, like,
Yeah, and
yeah.
he's like, I have to tell you something important," and he's actually actively telling her, but because he gave her this thing that she's been excited
First,
about for
yeah.
ages, she's obviously not listening to him. But they're like separated by a door,
Yeah.
and so he's like pouring his heart out, like, "Oh, I'm the crown prince, like, this is my whole thing. I'm actually really important." And she's like, she's not heard a single fucking word.
No, no, so yeah, it kinda, like, keeps on going like that until pretty much, like, the end of the season where she kinda knows, like, pretty much, like you
Yeah,
said, like,
she's
majority
like
of it, like, yeah,
pretty
like
much figured it out, but he's
yeah,
like, okay, well, now here's the undeniable proof. You can't like
yeah,
there's there's no if and or buts. Like this is the reality of it all.
yeah. There's a there's a certain thing about the last episode which kinda just, like, threw me through a loop, like, after the wars kind of ended,
Hmm.
and this is where, like, Bao Bao and Jinshi are like, "Oh, they're face to face again." But then there's a lot of tragedy which has just happened,
Yep.
especially with what happened with like Laolan, aka uh
Yeah.
Shisui. Yeah, there's a lot of that. The whole thing, like the storm of the castle, and like all the stuff that happens with
Yep.
like all that goes out, and a lot of stuff happens with the kids of the parents that were taken in
Oh
by
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So basically there's a lot of stuff that avoids poison, and like not all you're led to believe that not all the kids make it. And
Hmm.
meanwhile, Mao
Well, you're
Mao's in
led to
the
believe none
tent.
of the kids make it.
None of yeah. Yeah, like so they're all gone basically. But then they're in the tent, and Mao Mao is there with the bodies of said kids. And then Jinshi turns up,
Yep.
and then this is where he's like he's got these urges and like he's getting like really close to Mao Mao and there's certain bits and there's a whole thing like at the time you're like, hold on a second, aren't these kids still? There's
Yeah, this is
literally
like the
these
most
bodies there.
inappropriate place for what is supposedly about to happen.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, what the hell is going on? And then then you find out that kids are actually alive, like they could
Yes.
or like they needed less attention basically, um and
Of which
but
I did predict when I was watching through season 2.
oh yeah.
Well, because like, the way the series is written, you're like,
Hmm.
"There's no way. There's no way she actually," because like, by that point,
Hmm.
you've learned a lot about Shisui or Laolan.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
lots and lots of things have been unraveled, and you're like,
Hmm.
she's so smart. She's a schemer."
Hmm.
But,
Yeah.
like, she somehow fooled Mao Mao into thinking, like, the kids are drunk something. I was like, "There's no way. She cares for those kids so much, and she knows Mao
Hmm.
Mao's here, and Mao Mao is also smart." I was like,
Yeah.
"There's no way Lao Lan actually did that, did the
Yeah. Okay.
unspeakable," you know what I mean? Like, I was like, "There is no way she actually got the kids to drink
Hmm.
fucking poison tea." Like, and she offed them. I was like, "No, no, no, no. She wouldn't have." I refused to believe it. I was like, I, th-
Yeah.
especially because at that point they also are talking about this like revival potion or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
The one that Suiren took. So like it fakes death and then you wake up later. But there was like, so I was like, there is no freaking way that's not what they drank. It has to be.
Yeah.
It surely. And then as soon as that last scene
Yeah.
happens, I was like, I knew it. I knew it.
I think
She didn't
there's
kill
a
him.
whole load of things which were like I don't at this point in the series I was like anything could happen. I was like, well, look, there's deceased kids. Like I was like, well, that's depressing as hell, and like all that. So I kind of just assumed that they were dead, and it kind of felt like when they were alive, it's like okay, at least that's some like consolation. Yeah, they're good. They're alive. That's good. I mean, not all of them fully recovered, which is like understandable
Well,
because
yeah.
yeah, but it's only memory loss at that point. At that point, it's like
Yeah,
the one
that
that
kid
one kid had yeah.
suffered what was his name? I think it was like Kyo or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it sounds
Yes,
like yeah,
Kyo.
something very yeah, Kyo, like
Kyo, and then they
he
changed his
just
name to Cho. I thi-
yeah, it's like we had to give him a different name so he didn't remember anything. Could could you not go for like a completely different name, something that doesn't sound so similar? But
I mean, he's in a completely new place, far from where he was before. So I mean,
yeah,
no one knows him as Kyo.
no, that's true.
But yeah, like, see, okay. Also, when the kids come, like, wake up again.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I watched all of this with a friend. So
Hmm.
there was a lot of the two of us like figuring out things.
Okay, yeah.
Like at some point, my friend figured out way before the reveal. They were like,
Hmm.
"Is Lao Lao and Shisui? They're the same person, right?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I did not predict that
And
at
they were
all
like,
either. So.
because they were like, she just randomly appears and she like knows a lot of stuff and she really likes bugs. And I guess
Mhm.
because we don't normally see too much of Lao Lan, because she's written to be a character like a, the pure consort doesn't fucking do anything. She hates being there, right?
Mhm.
So you obviously normally you would ignore that character because like, well, they don't want to be here, so why do I care?
Yeah.
But my friend was like, yeah, because like Laolan's got lots of bug jewelry and stuff, like there's a lot of bug motifs, and I was like, really?
Right.
And like
I would never have picked that
literally,
up at all, though.
I didn't pick it up at first, but honestly, on my rewatch yesterday
Yeah.
when Laolan was introduced, I was like, holy shit, yeah, she's got like loads of bug jewelry and stuff. Like she's got like a firefly like
Yeah.
tiara and stuff. I was like, holy shit, it's like right there. When you know, you're like, fucking hell. How did I miss that?
Ah, okay. That is crazy. Like, I mean, yeah, like as I said, like it's like you said, like Laudan is introduced in season one as this character that you like you're aware that like there's something surrounding
Mm,
that, but like you don't know what that mystery is yet. And obviously you're still focusing on like the mystery around Lakan in
mm.
season one. So Laudan doesn't really get much of a
Yeah,
spotlight
she's
put
like
on
the
her in season one.
furthest thing from your mind.
Yeah, so you're really not focusing in on that. And then it's only like you said, season two. Like when it happened, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an interest. That's a good twist. Like when I wasn't like expecting it at all with it. And obviously, after the fact, when you find out, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, of course. That's when you start putting bits together from it. Like that for me, that's when I started putting bits together. Like, oh, okay, shit, it's kicking off, and then that's where the fallout starts. That's where it starts stepping up a lot
Mm.
more. After that,
It
that's when you're
ramps
like,
up like
oh, okay,
nuts. That's crazy,
yeah, yeah.
honestly. But one of the things I was saying to my friend when we watched when the kids woke up, you know how
Hmm.
you think, oh, surely the first kid that's gonna wake up is the one kid that has a name that we've been following, Kyo,
Yes.
right? But it's not. It's another. It's just a little girl.
Well, yeah, yeah.
But I was saying to my friend, do you reckon it was that little girl? Because even in the quick shot, I was like, she's got like darker brown hair or black hair, and she's got like the buns, and I was
Hmm.
like, I said to my friend, "Do you think that little girl woke up first as a sort of weird reference to Shaolan? You know, the other servant girl in the laundry
Hmm.
area that's also part of
Yeah,
that little group when they were hanging out, Mao Mao, Shisui,
yeah.
Shaolan." And I was like, "Is that supposed to be some sort of weird little like Shaolan thing? You know?"
Uh huh. I need to talk about the Shaolan thing actually, because it's the ending which I'm kind of like, wait, I
Hmm.
don't think I actually completely understood what happened because she
Okay.
wrote a message to Laolan and Mao Mao,
Yeah.
but is she just gone somewhere? Am I under that impression? Like,
So her contract was coming to an end,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and they were making a big deal of her time's coming up. She knows that,
mm-hmm.
and she feels like she won't get hired again at the palace.
Yeah,
So she
yeah,
was like trying to do something to find a good job. So you know they do the whole massage thing because of Shisui. I was like, oh,
mm-hmm.
this is the best place. She wrote the letters because whilst Mao Mao was kidnapped and Shisui seemingly was also kidnapped, um, Shaolan got hired by uh, one of the lower courtesans
You know, yeah,
and hired to work for her family. So she left the
right,
palace and would just work
yes,
somewhere else now.
okay, good. Because part of me was like, wait, hold, like me going to the darkest place of my mind. It looked like she wrote
No, no,
like a
no, no,
suicide,
no,
like a
no, no, no,
note,
no,
like
no,
like, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, then they kind of, and like, because Mal Mal's so nonchalant about everything,
Yeah,
I was like, "Wait, oh, she just accepted this?" And like, it's just like, "Yep, cool." And I was like,
that would be like the coldest thing, dude.
"Yeah," and like, I was like, "Wait, what?
Especially
This
when
character
Mao
that you've
Mao's
had?"
like, "This is my close friend." Yeah, and she's like, "I care for this
Yeah,
person." Oh well,
yeah.
shit happens, innit? Like,
Yeah, oh, it's because I wasn't there for her or whatever.
fucking hell.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's dark as fuck.
Yeah, fucking hell. I'm really glad
um,
it's not how
okay.
your headcanon worked out. Fuck me.
Yeah,
That's
I'm glad as well.
bad.
Like, okay, okay, cool. That's good.
Oh,
Fucking hell. Okay, yeah,
Jesus.
that's good.
There's a much
It's like
sweeter ending to you now.
because
Fucking hell. Oh my god.
this is the one thing about this series as well because like the dark shit does happen
Oh yeah.
and it's just so it explains so nonchalantly in this series. So for me that idea wasn't out of the
Okay,
question, you
fair,
know what I mean?
fair.
It was just like there's so many things that like they just went, oh yeah, it happened, this like they experienced this fate or whatever, and it's like even like the ghost stories episode or whatever, like you hear certain
Yeah,
things like about that woman that was there, like who turned out to be. So we also led to believe that she was a ghost, right? That is the
yeah.
actual thing.
I think that
Yeah.
what she was 100% a ghost. That's the only thing that isn't explained through like
Yeah.
logic and actual like science.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everything else is mom. I was like, okay, look, there's an explanation. There's this. I know this
Mhm.
and that and that that. But I'm like, nah, bro, that ghost is 100
Mm.
percent was a ghost,
Yeah.
and there is nothing you can say to explain that away.
'Cause then there's all that story of, like, who that person actually was, and then there
Yes.
was, like, a connection with, the clinic lady,
Yep.
and, like, she had a connection with the person who died and was the ghost, right?
Yep.
That is implied. But then you also have Laolan/Shisui, who was also in contact
Hmm.
with the clinic and the clinic
Yes.
lady, I guess. Um, which is kind of like why I was like, "Wait, hold on, did Shisui know about the ghost thing?" Like, because obviously she was there, and, like, that whole situation would have been known to her, especially with, um, sisters. What was the sister's name?
Suiren.
Suiren, that was it, Suiren. Um, so
Wait,
there was all this
Sui
kind of
Ray.
stuff.
Sorry, I always
Suiren.
get confused. Sui Ren is the old lady that works for Jinshi, and Sui Ray
R right, yeah.
is Lao Lan's sister. I get confused all
Okay,
the time
cool, yeah.
because
Yeah,
they're
that'd be
basically
a
the same
mad yeah,
name.
that'd
There's
be mad.
one letter apart, and it's like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
Okay, Suire, yeah. So Suire also had that connection with the that's where, Mao Mao found the book, the insect
Mm,
book, right?
yes.
Which belonged to, Shisui. So, there's a lot of, like, things there where you're like, "Wait, so was Laolan Shisui, like, in on the ghost thing?" Like, because she must have known, right?
I feel like she probably knew to some degree, but I
Yeah.
feel like even Lao Lan can't predict an actual fucking ghost. Like,
Yeah. But,
do
like,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's all
Like,
why
you can be the smartest person ever, but I don't think anyone's actually gonna be able to
imagine,
predict
like,
real
you
ghosts.
plan you plan to kill someone via ghost is insane work.
I mean, they almost did.
Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, it's close.
Yeah, they were bloody close. I mean, in a closed room, like burning candles and shit,
Yeah.
or the open. Well, I guess it wasn't an open flame, but like there was like the remnant, like embers of like coals and shit,
Mhm.
right? Well, like a wood
Yeah,
fire or
yeah, because
something.
obviously yeah.
It fucking they was like they were suffocating themselves. So yeah, like people almost died for sure.
Yeah. Fucking hell. But yeah, that which is like an episode which you think is just like a random throwaway one, but then it actually does kind of make sense in the long run. Like, or like there's
Yeah.
it not make sense, but like connections in the long run. It's like, oh god, okay.
Again, what I like about this series is like not a lot is actually really that random.
No.
Like they the author manages to tie things back in, even
Hmm.
something you're just like, oh, it's just a random innocuous thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, because the ghost is the ghost of I think it's Sweet Ray's mom.
Yes. Yes, it is, isn't it? That's how
Yeah,
the
that was Sweet Ray's mom, right? So then
I think
it's
yeah.
like there's a connection, but it's also like sometimes they just manage to connect the most random things, like
Yeah.
they the whole like, oh, the moon priestess, my our great granddad came and watched the
Yeah.
dance and she was the beautiful, and it turns out it's the old lady from the Verdigris house.
Yeah, it's like every character has their own like role in there, and like even the old lady is like, oh, okay, yeah, she actually like
Bruh, that
she
old
actually has a
lady,
connection with these things.
she's
Yeah,
so I don't know why, but I really like that character
yeah,
just because she's like such a stereotype, but it was just really funny to me.
yeah. I think it's just because she's one of those like characters that has her quirks about her.
Mm,
And like obviously you get like to see a serious side to her in season one towards the end as well with
yeah.
all the stuff with Lacan. And then but then like arguably such an integral part as well to the like the brothel,
Mm.
basically. And all those characters, I feel like every character does no character feels like they're wasted at all, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, each one has their own role to play in it, and they all serve their purpose, so, like, it's really well written in terms of characters and how the story actually unfolds, like, everything works out really well. I think one thing I was, like, unsure about, and I was under the impression they would have a bigger role in this series, was the people that came to see the moon priestess, you know, like, on
Yes, the special
the travelers.
envoys.
Yes, I did have obviously they were delivering things which, like, had effect, like, which
Yeah.
what was it? It was, they were buying products which were prohibited, and then certain, ladies in waiting were using
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
on the consorts, and there's all this that ties into it, and you're like, "Oh, okay." And again, what this series does really well is feeds into this, like, mystery detective-y kind of
Yeah.
thing, and and then you say, "Oh, yeah, you tried to kill this person by doing this," or it's
Oh
like,
my
"You
god,
had
oh my
vengeance,"
god.
and
All
it's
of
the
this
juice.
leads to such a
Yeah.
great moment in season 2, by the way. We'll get to it after,
Yeah.
but, like
Yeah, but it's like all of the, like, deduction stuff that comes through, like this series, what you don't expect from it at all, what I certainly didn't expect from it was it to be such a crime mystery kind of
mm.
genre, which is like
Do you know what's really funny? It kind of feeds into Pepper and I tend to like things that, like, do something, but, like, in a different way. And this is
mhm.
like detectives, but it's not like always like murder mystery. So like we both liked rom-com and Ahashi, right? But this isn't, oh, we're always solving crime, like murders and shit. It sometimes it is just like little mysteries. Like the episode I just finished watching was season 1, and it's the metal worker family. The guy died and
Yes,
he's got the
yeah.
3 sons. Mao just went to their house.
Okay,
So
yeah.
but it's like that those kind of mysteries where it's kinda like there's a weird puzzle here that the others can't figure out, but Mau
Yeah.
Mau's just, like, cracked the case, you
Mm.
know?
And, like, Mama's not a detective at all, like,
No.
she's just, like, this person that she's just got a good eye about and, like, has good
Yeah.
instincts, basically, and,
She
like,
was
is obviously
taught by
brought up
her dad,
by
yeah, to just analyze and, like, he's spread his knowledge very well, apparently, because she's
Mhm.
very educated and very well informed on
Yeah.
stuff.
Like, you just don't expect it from this series, and where it goes, it's like I mean, that's what I enjoy about it, and like you said, it isn't all detective murder mystery, "Oh, you tried to
Mm.
kill this person doing this." Like, there is genuinely, like sometimes you find these things that like, "Oh, it's just an accident," like, "Oh, this certain powder has a reaction with this other
Yeah.
product, which is why this person is falling ill." And, like, that's where, like, Mao like, says this engine, she's like, "Well, okay, let's correct this then." What ends up being what if this is like a modern time, it'd be like a what forms like a buddy cop duo in
Yeah,
some
in a way.
ways, which is really weird. In any other series, that would be the focus of it, but that isn't the focus of this series the whole time. And what you get from each episode could be something completely different, which is why I think the both of us have really liked it
Yeah.
because it's not just, oh, this series is about this. Like this series has so many different parts. And the series tries like as we said before, like you get stuff about family lineage or
Yeah.
like stuff about Lacan, for example, or it's like you some one week you get this story about how one of the guards is completely smitten with one of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the courtesans at the
Yeah.
Verdigris house, and he's like, "How much do I have to save to buy her?" and stuff like that, and it's like,
Oh, man, Lee.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
yeah.
Lee Haku.
Mihaku, and like it becomes like weirdly like I don't know, Lee Haku just becomes like, hey, it's that guy. You see him in season 2, and it's like, hey, he's got a dog with him now, and it's like, whoa, it's like it's like a cool little thing that he appears and does. So I'm
But
like, yeah, cool. I like Lee
again,
Haku.
it's because it all ties in. Um, to and this is just my headcanon, by the way. To your point of the special envoys,
Yes. Oh yeah, that's another thing I was going. But yeah, I brought
at
up. And
at time of recording, season 3 has been confirmed to be greenlit. We don't know when it's coming.
hmm
We don't know production. My theory is, based on what we know of season 1 and 2, I
hmm
think season 2 is just all the setup for the
Mhm.
special envoys. Obviously, no one, all of us anime only fans right now, we got no idea where season 3 is going because it feels like season 2 was quite a
Yeah.
neat bow, and it's kind of like, well, what's going on now? But now that I've sat here and thought about it, talking to you, I think the
Mhm.
special envoys are gonna come back because they also did appear a little bit towards the end, and there
Yes.
was that whole mystery that Gaussian brought to Mao Mao about like, oh, I have a friend, and there's twins,
Mhm.
but even though they were always there being watched,
Yeah,
somehow one of
yeah.
the twins got pregnant. I think season 2 is the setup, and we're probably going to get the payoff for the special envoys in
Mhm.
season 3. Because, like,
Mhm.
like we were saying, like in season 1, there was some stuff they were setting up, and you would never, unless you watch season 2, you get no closure on any of that. Like, it
Mhm.
just seemed
Yes,
seemingly
yeah.
really random stuff, right? And that's what that
Yeah.
kind of feels like right now, where the two of us are kind of like, "What's
Yes.
up with these special envoys? What are they doing?" I think season 3 we might end up seeing something. Honestly,
Oh, that I mean, that'd be great. This is what the series does, though. It set, like you said, it sets up those things, and then like you don't get a payoff straight away. You get like the
mm,
payoff further down the line, and like, that's what adds to it. And I'm really looking forward to season 3. I would never expected to be looking forward to something like this as well.
same.
Like, and
Honestly,
but it's one thing though that like when you watch anime, you don't watch week to week now, do you? You just wait
no,
until the whole
I
series is
will.
out and then
Yeah,
watch it all.
conveniently, I finished season 1 like I think literally a month before the end of season 2. So
Yeah.
by the time I like
Yeah.
finished season 1, I waited a couple of weeks, and I was like, "Wicked! I could just binge watch season 2 now."
Yeah. So for me, like, I think this is a kind of series which I feel like I would want to binge. Yeah, I'd want to binge this. Like watching it back to back, I kind of want the answer immediate. It's
Yeah,
always
right,
one of those series that you want the immediate satisfaction of it. I want to know the
bro.
ending to
It's
like
you know
so.
what I equate it
Yeah,
to? It's like when we were kids and your parents would watch those like TV like crime dramas, like a Columbo or
yeah,
something. Could you imagine watching a
hmm
Columbo, but you don't get the payoff? Like you only
yeah,
get half, and it's like a episodic thing, and
yeah.
he is like figuring it out, and then you're like, "Come back next week," and be like, "What?"
Yeah. I mean, this is one thing because, like, funny enough, like a series that did me and my dad used to watch quite a bit back in the day was this one called Life on Mars. I don't know if you ever watched it at all.
I didn't, but I know of it.
Yeah, it's like, and within that, it's like there's this mystery that he's trying to because it's about this cop that gets sent back, gets hit by a car. Basically, gets isekai to the 1970s is the best way I'm going to put it because it is. I rewatched it last year, right? And I was watching this and I was like, this feels like an isekai. He gets hit by a car and then sent back to the 1970s, and he's trying to. But instead of I'm gonna live in the 1970s,
Yeah.
he's trying to find a way back, and he keeps on getting these like bits like of like he's in the hospital and he gets these calls like, "Oh, we miss you, John. Come back," and all this kind of stuff. And he's not. He's probably his name's not John, but regardless, though, like I used to watch that week to week. I used to be like, "Oh, I can't. I need to watch next week to
Mm.
see if he actually does escape this isekai 1970s world." um, like that was a really big part, and at the time, obviously, this was back in 2005,
Yeah.
2006, the series. So you had no choice but to watch this
Yeah.
week to week because iPlayer wasn't even really a thing. Like you'd have to just like, or at least I didn't think it was. Like back then, it wasn't. Surely,
I mean,
like
if it was super basic. It wouldn't
yeah,
be
yeah.
anything near what we have today.
What we have exactly, yeah. So, like, this is the thing that I was like, I mean, I'd be in two minds about it, right? Especially with a detective-y kind of mystery series like this. I say detective, but it's so again, there's so much more to it. But like, I'd be in two minds about it because one, I'd want to be like, oh, I can't wait to watch this week's episode. Like,
Yeah.
again, just having a weekly series. But part of me is like, if I want that immediate satisfaction, I will want to just binge watch the hell out of it. And
I
that
know,
does
right?
mean though, that's like roughly half a year's worth of episodes though. because it's gonna be
Yeah.
25 episodes. Depending if they take a mid-season break in it as well. I don't know if they did or
Why do
not
you
with this
always
last
say
series.
or always say the painful words? Why must you
Because
do this?
I'm a realist, Nathan. I'm a realist.
Your ass, you're an ass.
Yeah, because I know how like at this point we know how the anime industry works. There will be like here's 12 episodes, and then you get a mid-season break. Is 6 months, and then you get another 12 episodes. It might not even be 6 months. It might be 2 or 3 months. But like usually it's that kind of thing. And I'm like, at that point though, would I be better off watching it week to week if there's going? If it's half a year's worth of episodes? I'm gonna. Well, I also said this about Dragon Ball Daima. Bear in mind. I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I'll go watch Daima week to week," and then just didn't because I had no hype to watch it. And then, oh, yeah, I'll see how I get on with it. Only time will tell how I end up watching season
I've
3.
I've definitely settled into the binge watch model.
Mhm.
It's just how I
Yeah.
prefer it now because it's. I mean, for me, it's just I will forget for sure the week to week.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
It's just not in my mind anymore to be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
thing.
Points of view. Yeah.
So like for me, it's just like okay, cool. It's all out. I'll spend whatever time it takes to just finish it. And
Mhm.
that sounds awful because it sounds like I hate the thing I'm doing. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'll watch it and I'll be like, okay,
But
cool,
you did.
done
But at
now.
that point, you dedicate the time so you know you're
Yeah,
gonna be dedicating
you
that
know
time.
you have all the information and you'll get all the closure exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, I I have no idea, and that's also kind of exciting. You know, like
Mhm.
yeah, who knows where this is going? Because it's like before it, season one was this whole
Mhm.
thing of like trying to figure out what's up with Jinshi, because he's like
Mhm.
important and he's too important. But it's
Yeah.
like at the time it was like, well, they said he at some point they dropped. I can't remember who dropped the info, but it was like, yeah, he's the emperor's brother, but then he also looks a little like
Mm.
Arduo, and you're like, oh, what's that? Is he the brother? Is he his son? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be so much more to come with that kind of thing, especially with like with Jinshi. Like you could tell that like at the end of season 1 there was something
Yeah,
up with him, but you weren't exactly sure what. And then season 2, I think it was the first episode as to where Jinshi got that flashback, didn't he? Of
yeah.
him and his mother and then the emperor and the emperor's mum as well, like this empress kind of thing.
The empress
And it
dowager.
was
I think that was a grandma.
yeah. Yeah, that was it, weren't it? And it was like you see that quick flashback bit, and you're like, okay, so we're gonna get Jinshi stuff this season. We're gonna get more information on that.
Yeah,
But like this is one thing, season 3, like you said, everything feels like it's been wrapped up in the bow, but like you want to see, but like, there's so many other stuff with the other what was it, concubines as well.
yeah.
There's a whole lot of different stories about them you could go through and stuff like.
Dude, talking of
But
concubines, I've
yeah,
got to see more of Liwa, man, because the whole like caravan thing you were talking about, and
yeah,
like the prohibited substances was like the main part of that was Liwa's cousin Shin. She was jealous because she was supposed to be
yes,
the concubine,
yes, yeah,
but she
yeah.
lost out to Liwa because the emperor he likes uh boobs.
Yep, big boobs.
Yeah,
It's like
literally, that's why Liwa got picked. She got bigger boobs.
yeah,
But it was, it's the whole payout. And like, Liwa was so nice. She's like,
mhm,
you're fired. Don't come back.
mhm,
And like, and then her cousin Shin like does something again. And, Liwa like slaps her up.
mhm,
She like slaps her.
mhm.
And then Jinchi says something. And Liwa goes, "Oh, is that not enough punishment?" And then she looks like she's gonna go
Sassy.
fucking knock her out. And I was like, "Yes, go ahead, girl,
Yeah,
queen,
there's
kick
that's
her
yeah.
ass." I got to see more of that version of Liwa, man. I need to see more of that.
There's so many like what you get the impressions of these characters when they first appear to where they are now. The character
Mm.
growth is like tremendous, and it carry like from season 1 to season 2. Like a lot of the concubines you see that with as well. And then
I feel like the only
oh
like character that's been
Mm,
consistent, like, has she's not really changed much because she doesn't need to,
mhm.
is,
Yeah.
Gyokyo, the first, the Precious
Yeah.
Consort,
Oh,
the one
yes.
that Mao
Yeah.
Mao
Yeah.
works for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's, like, the only character that really doesn't change because she's already
But
a solid character.
doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Like one of my favorite characters in this, just because she's like so precious of Mao Mao. Is like, yes, I need this.
Also,
This
because
one
she
here.
loves
Is
to
like,
mess with Jinshi.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's like when Jin, she's like, yeah, I'll be asking for a return. And it's like, what do you mean return? She's my lady in
Yeah.
waiting. And it's like,
You mean
no, I need
borrow?
her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so good. And then one of the characters that you get more an idea of what he's like. You would never have guessed it in season 1, but season 2 is actually the emperor himself,
Yeah.
because in season 1, you get this idea that this emperor is like this powerful guy who's stoic and you don't know anything about him. He could be an
Mr.
arsehole.
Mr. Stoic Horn Dog.
Yeah, and yeah, but everything you hear about him is like, oh, the emperor likes this thing, and it's like, but then it's in season 2 where you actually see him, like, walking around, like, like, where
Mm.
is the maze of the
Yeah,
doors,
yeah.
like, the colored doors, and then you see him, like, just having a laugh and then walking around and stuff like that, and you're like, "Wait, this character who was so, like, in my mind, intimidating in season
Mm.
1 is just there like, 'Ha, ha, ha, ah, yeah, go do this, girl, do this,' like,
Yeah.
it's
Is it okay if we
Yeah,
do it again? It's like, yeah, go ahead. I don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah, just like casually talking to like Mao Mao and stuff like that. Like it was, and it's mad, like just seeing him as well as his character. Like this is it's just interesting. No, but all in all, great series. I've been
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I it's so good. I didn't, even though I knew it was fictitious ancient China.
Hmm.
I think because I was watching it in sub, so it's Japanese people saying
Yes,
certain
that's also.
things, certain Chinese words, but as a like the Japanese way of saying it. A lot of things never clicked in my mind.
Hmm.
Like, it wasn't until the first episode of season 2 where it was Mao Mao and Mao Mao, which confused the shit out of me, right?
Oh
And
yeah. Oh
they
okay.
adopt
Yeah.
it, they find a kitten, right? And they call it Mao
Yeah.
Mao.
Yeah.
And obviously you hear certain things in a certain way, and I was like, my brain never clicked. I was like, why did they call the cat Mao Mao? And then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Say it in the way I would have said it in Cantonese, Mao Mao or cat.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
literally cat. Mao Mao is like
Right.
a cute way of saying cat. So when
Okay.
Gaoshun has been calling her Xiao Mao,
Yeah.
it never clicked, and then I was like, "Holy shit, that's why he's been calling her that." To me, in Cantonese, Xiao Mao or Xiao Mao, little cat.
Hmm. Right. Okay.
So he's been calling, like, nickname like little cat this whole time, which obviously then makes more sense when
See,
she does the
I
whole
also
cat
had
thing
no
as well.
idea of any of that. Like the cat thing makes more sense anyway, but like it makes a lot more sense now that I have that story. Because again, I don't know, I don't have any of that information. So he just goes shout out. I'm just like, okay, it's a translation thing. It's like it's not really been explained to me, so I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah,
okay, cool, yeah. And like that's one thing because obviously Gaoshun's also like saying to Jinshi, oh yeah, like yeah, in the season 1 anyway, it's like Jinshi's keeping Mao Mao as like a petty kind of
yeah,
thing. Like and like, oh, it's like he's always like this or whatever. And I just associated it with that maybe, but even then, like I've just like, okay, yeah, just Xiao Bao was just the thing that it was completely lost to me. The cat thing, I just thought it was like because I think they even make the joke in the dub like meow meow or something like that.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
there's like some kind of joke there. Again, it's like it depends on how you watch it, I guess, in terms of sub or dub. And even then, I feel like there's that barrier is there of like it's lost in translation
Yeah.
sometimes
I
with
mean,
it,
like,
maybe like
I feel like
yeah.
it might have clicked sooner. Like, if I was, maybe if I was a Mandarin speaker, like, maybe seeing it spelled out in English, or like just sort of hearing it, the pronunciation might have been closer to like a Mandarin. But like, yeah, where
Mhm.
with my limited Cantonese, I was like, I just
Mhm.
none of it ever clicked until way too late, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, all of that
Yeah.
makes so much sense with
At
like
least
the
it clicked
context I
for
have."
you. Yeah. At least it
Well, I
clicked
mean,
for you.
like,
I didn't realize any of that until just now.
well, I mean, you wouldn't though because you don't speak Chinese, but
No.
like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, is it was just like when it did click, I was like, "Oh my god."
Mhm.
It's small things like that. I was like, "But it makes sense now. It just makes sense." I haven't made any more connections, but like, again, limited
Wait. On
Chinese,
your
so
watch through, just message me and just be like, "Oh, look, there's this thing makes this thing." Just message me, just
but
drop a
like
message like,
definitely
just so you're aware. Yeah.
yeah, but definitely Mau Mau. I was like, I was kicking myself
Yeah.
after that. I was like, how there's like right in my face, bro. Like the whole time, I was just like, the pronunciation is different. That's the only reason it didn't click.
Mm.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's just right there. It's just
Right.
right there, bro.
Um, I'm aware that we're coming up to the hour now. Is there anything else you want to say about this series before we wrap this up, Nathan? I feel like we could have talked so much more about it as
Oh,
well,
we
but
probably could
maybe we'll
have.
hold off. We'll hold that off till season 3 discussion, probably.
There's nothing, honestly, nothing more I can say without just end up spoiling way too much. Like, just go and watch it. It really is such a solid series. People are not wrong. It is such a good watch. It will surprise you, and it's just not what you would expect, really.
hmm I can only echo what Nathan's just said there. Like it surprised me, like it really surprised me with how good it was. I didn't expect it to be this addicting to watch. I didn't expect it
Mm.
to be like, oh, I need to watch the next episode straight away. But no, honestly, a massive surprise at how good that was, and I'm really looking forward to season 3 when it
Oh
eventually
man,
comes out, whenever that may
I'm so
be.
glad you've watched all of it because now we can actually
Yeah.
like we now we can talk like
Yeah, I'd be
talk
like,
about
"Oh,
it.
here it is, Susan."
I've been
Yeah,
holding back for
that's
so
what.
long,
It's always good when a friend of yours catches up on the series. You've been
right?
like, "Yeah, watch this." Now I can actually talk about chat about these things, right? But anyway, that brings this discussion to an end, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think of Apothecary Diaries. Do you read the light novels? Is there more to come? Are you loving the episodes? Let us know in those comments. We'd love to hear from you. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Click the links in our description. We have all of our podcast platforms down there. And we'll see you guys next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye bye.
Bye.